Philly? I don't think so. Going back to Philly, wildin', defiling, drunk dialing, so violent, always in the sun. Going back to Philly, flipping them, licking them, screwing over everything in sight. Duster flowing, abs showing, looking like you wanna take a bite. Going back to Philly, hip hop, non-stop, crush you with karate chops. Your mom's the bomb, like napalm in a wigwam. Meet you at the deli. Going back to Philly, trashing, crashing, developing a ration, bossing some moves. Going back to Philly, Philly. Going back to Philly. I don't think so. Going back to Philly. Going back to Philly. I don't think so. Potential small losers, all salty like the ocean. Going back to Philly, where craniums are pounded, busted, encrusted in the hot morning sun. Going back to Philly, pandering, philandering, slandering, gerrymandering. Always brush your teeth. Baby, tanning, jihad, planning. Throw the pool, let's go. Going back to Philly. Going back to Philly. I don't think so. Going back to Philly. Going back to Philly. I don't think so.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the stream. Dear Lord, it's been a long time. It is Saturday, April 28th, 2018. My name is Jeff Fritz, and of course, welcome back to Philly. I'm back at home, back in my humble abode, back in the office. And it's been a wonderful morning trying to get things set back up and ready. Let me tell you, I had everything turned off. My laptops, the whole office shut down, and I've been bringing things back online, and nothing works. Windows doesn't want to talk to the network at all. And then when I finally do bring it up, half the features don't work. Literally, my keyboard wasn't working in Windows 10. So I plugged in the external keyboard. That didn't work either. Okay, reboot a third time. Finally got things up and running. But I have Docker running slow, getting up and running. It's been a morning. This is my Saturday mornings after I'm done traveling. I end up running through this, and it's a freaking nightmare. There we go. Let's get our music playing in the background. Some nice chill music back there. Oh, thanks for the subscription.
Would y'all look at that?
Absolutely. Would you look at that? Thank you, Brendan, for the subscription. This is Indigo from Music to Code by Carl Franklin's. Music that's scientifically designed to get us into flow, get us in the mood for coding. Yeah, I need a little bit of this. Look at that, and I'm not even getting my lights lined up right there. That's a little bit better. So, I'm back in Philly, back from the West Coast. We did a lot of planning for Build this week, the Build conference. I've literally seen every single developer session. It was a lot of content, and I think you're going to be impressed. It's really cool. There's a lot of great stuff coming. I've had to adjust our widgets here a little bit. It seems like I've graduated to another level now, where I have trolls with some unsavory names appearing and subscribing to the channel. Not subscribing, following on the channel, and I don't want to see their information appear on our widgets and whatnot. So, I don't know if I'm flattered or what, but I'm not thrilled with it. I want to make sure that this is a family-friendly show, and folks that have less than family-friendly names, I'm not going to let... I'm going to try my best to prevent those from appearing here on stream. So I had to ban some folks. I had to rework the way that some of our widgets work. I guess that's the penalty for us doing so well. Not sure. So, like I said, not happy about that. All right, what else is going on? I have a guest scheduled for Tuesday. I forget who I have scheduled for Tuesday. Let's flip over to our code. Go take a look. Good morning, Evandro. I think that's part of it when you get famous. Maybe it is. I don't want it to take away from some of the fun that we get to have here on stream. Let's go over to the code. There we are. Look at me. And my filter is just a little bit rough for me there. Let's see if I can clean that up. That's a little bit better. Hey, Jeff, I'm a fellow developer living in KOP. Hey, that's great. Is that a Chase? Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on the stream. Of course, and I hang out at our local Philly.net user group. Every now and again. I'm over there. Let's see. Is the developer-based keynote going to be on the second day? Was going to organize a keynote party with some friends from work. There are... Let me make sure I'm talking correctly about... Is it buildmicrosoft.com? I don't think it's buildwindows.com. Let's go to buildmicrosoft.com. There we go. Hey, I know some of these folks. What's the schedule look like here? Session type, keynote. What do they say? Yes, there are 3 keynotes. Satya Nadella, first thing on day 1. Scott Guthrie, the man in the red shirt, second up on day 1. And then on day 2, Joe Belfiore will be doing some keynotes. So depending on which type of developer you are, if you're doing server-side development, if you're doing cloud development, Scott Guthrie on day 1 is going to be the man for you and the content you want. If you're doing application development, Windows, it's labeled here Microsoft 365 development. Check out our friend Joe Belfiore on day 2. I am not on the right continent for build and have not figured out if the session will be recorded and published on Channel 9 or only a few. Well, Sushinator, all sessions, including all theater sessions, are being recorded and published through Channel 9. There is what we call a hot room that will be live streamed to the cloud for everybody to see. And of course, I will be streaming from Build as well. I have at least one session that I'll be live streaming at my normal time. I have a request for a special guest for a second stream. I'm trying to process that, get that through all the hurdles here. It'll be a pretty good one if I can get this, if this other request goes through. But I don't want to mention who that is yet because, like I said, I want to make sure that I land it properly first, before we go. I upgraded Windows in my Visual Studio 2017 to 15.6.7. I didn't upgrade Windows at all. My production machine here it's a Microsoft issued machine, and they require some security patches to be installed immediately. And if my machine's been off, it kind of blocks services while it's doing those installs. Always a fountain of knowledge. Oh, thank you. All right, and all my widgets are up and working here, and it looks like the bot is working. Looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. Our friend and absolutely amazing developer, Ben Adams, took a look at our code for the bot and suggested a couple of changes. And I am thrilled to say that it looks like he fixed it. And the problem that I was running into was actually inside of my Twitch library. I want to go here. And I was using... Where was it? Down in here. I was using a reader-writer lock, which is not maintained across threads. And when you do async and await, and when you use multi-threading like I was using, it doesn't... You won't always get the same reader-writer lock when you come back onto thread. So Ben said, oh, you got to use a semaphore over here so that you're guaranteed access to it. So that's what we did. He gave me a pull request that now uses the semaphore that you see here. And it looks like it's running really, really well. I don't have it crashing. I have all the messages coming through here on my console. It looks like our numbers are keeping up to date. Maybe. I'm looking at my view number over here, and I'm expecting to see it jump up because the Twitch console is showing 32, and right now that's only showing 25. We might have some more work we need to do in there. All right. You still out there? Is AutoMod new? No, the AutoMod has been there for a while. The Twitch auto moderation system has been out there. And, yeah, I want to make sure we stay family friendly, you know? There's no reason for us to cuss or get into anything less than savory. So, all right. I'm still not thrilled with the background here on my... This is what I get. I was messing with my chroma key. Can I bump this up? Right, my smoothness. Can we smooth this out? That's a little bit better. See that? And uptime works now too. Ha ha! Alright. But some of my other widgets here look like they're not getting updates, right? My viewer number isn't changing. This isn't a rerun. No, it isn't this time. No, we're live. But I believe on Tuesday we are going to have... I didn't bump it up here. We're going to move... our friend Bill Wagner from the Microsoft Docs team is joining us on Tuesday. Let's make sure I have that updated. Tuesday is... Isn't Tuesday the 1st? Yeah. Let's update that. And he wants to walk through async and await. I was having a problem with that, and he wants to help us clear that up. Updated Bill Wagner's show date. There we go. So, AutoMod does not like... Yeah, he doesn't. So, and I did want to run a rerun the other day just to make sure that there was something out there. There was something playing. Shoot, that's not even in the right place. Whoa. Alright. Edit. Let's move this up one to right there. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Fixed. I did not merge the GitHub feature yet. Let's take a look-see. Oh no, Nightbot responded on that, but I didn't merge it on my side yet. There's a couple things I want to do before we get there. So let's, and I'm seeing that the viewer count isn't updating. Let's see if my viewer count. I'm going to force a refresh of that viewer count up there. Let's see if it gives the same number. Alright, so that tells me it's a signal R issue. It's not reconnecting properly. Alright. Okay. we'll have to take a look into both of those. So, any other questions about build before I get going here? I want to look at that, at our stream tools. I want to update it to the 2.1 Preview 2 version of ASP.NET, and take a look at some of these other little connectivity issues that I'm having. Saints into C, thank you for the host. Let me see here. Let me look at my event list. I might be able to update the event list now. Let's see. Let's see. Really not a fan of some of these folks. Nope, not yet. Need a couple more events and then I can reset it. So it's rerun. What's rerun? No rerun. This is all live today. Is at AJ Ukraine. Right? Do I have that right? And build certainly isn't a rerun, let me tell you. All new content at build. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, there's Caitlin. Okay, that's pretty cool. Why title says rerun? Yeah, why does the title say rerun? It shouldn't. Title is wrong on the stream. Thank you. Let's go fix that real quick. And then we'll get into a little bit more. Why my network is running really slow this morning, I do not know. It's been too long since I've been streaming. I've got so much to do here. Title. Nope. We want to say something like updating our projects to ASP.NET Core 2.1 Preview 2. That should help. There we go. All right. Add some issues to automate the setup. What I need is a real checklist to get some of that stuff done. All right. I am going to close that. Let's talk about ASP.NET Core 2.1 Preview 2. So, these are stream tools. They are. We'll get there. Whole bunch of issues that have been opened and discussing going on out here. But this is the one from our friend Damien that I want to go into here. 2.1 Preview 2 is now available. This is a preview release. There are known to be issues and yet to be discovered bugs. I don't know of any. Improvements to the Razor UI libraries. Looks like we're just changing to Preview 2-Final is going to be the new name of our references. So what I'm going to do to update our Stream Tools project, let's right click and edit the CSproj file. How's that font size? Let me know if we need to up that font size. Let's change this to Preview 2 Final. Save that. Let's wait and see if we get it restore completed successfully. Yay! See how the build works. You're right, Partington, and it might be neat to have a getting started before you stream tools. iPhone 4. Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. Hey, good morning, aspiring DevOps guru. Installing. Look at all that installing going on behind me. Right over there. Look at that. All right. And taking its good old time starting here. Build failed. Here we go. Let's see what's wrong. Welcome, Jimbo Dean. Was that right? Jimbo Doyne? Thank you for the follow. Let's see here. Hub caller context does not contain a definition for connection. So this is the SignalR API changing. Let's see. So context doesn't have a connection now, huh? Let's see. Let's go back to our blog post and see what it says here about the SignalR connection. Razor UI class, library, scaffold, identity. Yeah, identity now is wrapped into the box. Come on. SignalR. Nope. All right, let's go back and see if there's a SignalR blog post. I don't think there was. Nope. So the next place to look would be GitHub, ASP.NET, announcements. Just call get HTTP context directly. Well, I've already got the context. I'm going to get the... You're saying do this. Yeah. I mean, why don't I just say... why don't I just say context? Right? Can I just do that? And then I... What if we did that? There we go. Connect.getHTTP. No, not connect it. Yeah, I think AJ Ukraine has it correctly there. Thanks for the suggestions. And Joe, is that Joe W. in California? So that looks like solves that little bit of issue there. Build failed. What did we error out on this time? Well, that's wonderful. Which build failed? Chatbot DLL. Generate runtime configuration fails. Process cannot access the file. Canada. All right. Good morning, Joe in Canada. There we go. Build succeeded. Huzzah! All right. So this should work now. And we should be able to get back in and start seeing some of the benefits of the new update to the project. Now, the big thing that's going on with the preview 2 is that this is a significant number of performance improvements in here, right? So the preview 2 is this gray one here, where our build in the 2.0 version of our project might have taken 107 seconds, now takes 10 seconds. A 90% reduction in build performance. That's huge. 90% improvement. So, well done, .NET Core team. That's tremendous for us. right? Because you want to stay in the zone. You want this stuff to be rebuilding quickly and running as fast as possible. So let's kick off a run here, and let's make sure everything runs properly. Ready? Yeah. Let's go. I saw a little box there. And kill that stupid error list window. No. Oh, look at this. Unexpected error detected. Check the... Oh, what's that? Check the tests output pane for Windows. For details. Really? Tests. Test host processes. Type load exception. Could not load type. Blah, 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 blah. Can I compare builds of my project with new and previous versions? I'm not going to be able to easily because I had to change some of those APIs that I had in there. That's interesting that the test project is erroring when I'm trying to run this, and it clearly doesn't reference the test. Look at that. Bang. It didn't even launch properly. Let's do this. Let's go over to my command line window. And let's just try and do a .NET run from here and see what happens. Well, that's a problem. I installed I installed the project, but it's not here. All right, let's do a .NET restore. I mean, it restored very, very quickly. No. I don't want the .NET framework. I want... The following versions are installed. Does it need to change from all to app? No. Don't think so. We'll try it. Have you installed the latest SDK? You know what? I might have a global JSON that has my SDK pinned. Right. Because I'm... Let me change back to that. Let's say, not .NET, .NET. It's been too long since I've written code. Alright, I can update my... I thought I pinned a global JSON in here somewhere. Nope. Nope, that's the only global JSON I have. So let's go get the latest version of the SDK. Just to be safe. Yeah, I did it again. Look at that. So I don't have the preview 2 here. So let's go get the latest version of that. Windows, .NET Core SDK, and I want the preview. There it is. Yes, I have that. Give me the x64 installer. No. I don't need to tell you more. Hello, Joe. Global JSON, yes, Evandro. The global JSON file is it's a little file that you can put in your development project folders that will instruct .NET which version of the command line to use. There we go. We'll install the latest preview 2 bits here. Files in use. Yes, I get it. I get it. So now let's try over here. There we go. So I'll run .NET list SDKs again, and well, I had 2.1 300 preview 1 8174. It's still listed there. I see what you're doing to me now. Still doesn't show it. I think we'll add one to the directory using the .NET command line. Are there no package managers to get the SDK? That's something they're working on AJ Ukraine. They had that feature a while ago. They're bringing it back slowly. Alright, so if I try .NET Run now, will that actually run? Maybe. Nope. Happy days of software upgrading. I know. So I downloaded and installed the SDK, but it didn't actually... I mean, 2.10 preview 2, if we go... let's see, C, program files, .NET, bleeding edge, yeah, it's not actually here. Right, I downloaded 2.10 preview 2, that's not it. I mean, it's clearly not here. Yes, fix it. Yeah, close them. It's still not here. Did it install successfully after all you had that error? No, it didn't. No, not here. No. Not there. All right. So now what? Are you installing the runtime, not the SDK? Well, okay, that's the runtime. You're right. So let's go back. The ASP.NET Core runtime installer. But hang on. SDK. There we go. I grabbed the wrong one. Good catch. Good catch. x64 installer. Save. Try this again. See that? I was reading too quickly. Rats. Alright, here we go. One more time. Yes, do the install. Make the thing happen. That's the same SDK. 2.10 300. Oh, preview 2. Okay. Yeah, no. That's the one we wanted. Can I zip my folder for you? And... come on! Oop, now it's gone. All right. Hey, there we go. Let's try. All right, now we're getting this. Yeah, span of T and array pool of T. Oh, dear Lord. Use of iHTML helper partial may result in application deadlock. Consider using partial tag helper or iHTML partial async. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's reopen Visual Studio here. And let's go fix that. Runtime will be downloaded by NuGet, right? Yes. Yes, it should be, but the SDK is not. The SDK you have to install yourself. And I ran into our friend Immo Landworth from the .NET team right after the stream with Scott Hunter on Tuesday, and we talked about doing a span of T stream, and he's looking forward to it. So we have an opportunity there. All right, this is inside of layout CSHTML. There's a partial, so let's go to views, shared layout. Right, so this is Razor. This is a Razor template. This contains a mix of HTML and C#, so that it can generate our layout. So it's suggesting we need to use partial async here, which means this needs to be an await. Right? There it goes. Try that one more time. There we go. And now it's running. Now listening on localhost 5000. Immo is a cool guy. You like his Twitter? Yes. Immo's one of the brilliant folks at Microsoft. Really, really smart. All right. So these pages just work again. Terrific. All right. That was easy. Once I got the correct tools installed. Okay. I don't need to look at ASP.NET announcements. So we had some changes made to our proxy so that we could get better interaction here. Here we go. Look at this. I'm now getting a too many requests error coming in from Twitch, finally. And that's okay. I expect it, though, to roll over here in a few seconds, and I'll start getting request content from Twitch again. Interesting. It's because I've got 2 bots running now. So, all right, let's cancel that. Yeah, you're canceled. Goodbye. Let's see. Let me run over to power. It should have canceled all that. Is there something running in the background here? Sure looks it. Let's kill all this off because it looks like it's disconnected and wasn't properly shut down. I really enjoyed his immutable data structures library. Yes. Very cool stuff. Now it's merged and that stuff's part of the base class library. I'm going to run over to PowerShell. Good. And you can see the number of files that I have waiting for me to commit, including that layout CS.html. So let's do a quick commit here. Updated to .NET Core 2.1 preview 2. Push those changes out. And it looks like I don't have any new pull requests. I don't have any new issues here. This is actually a pretty good comment here from Patrick, saying I've got way too many branches and it's kind of hard to follow how to contribute. So we need to work on that, simplifying the number of branches that are existing out here in our project. Because right now I do have feature unit tests, feature fritzbot, and master. Because I've got multiple features I was working on at the same time. So I'm going to restart this fellow over here. Oops, wrong one. Let's restart my normal. My normally running bot here. Yep. Don't want to have too many requests going against Twitch or they get a little grumpy. Alright. Span looks promising in memory access stuff. It is. It's very promising, and it's going to cause some of those request times that you see for the performance of ASP.NET run much, much faster. Why do we switch over to PowerShell for the git commit? Just curious. Oh, I have an extension installed for PowerShell called PoshGit that gives me a little bit of information about my git status here right on my right on the command line. Should I pull a new .NET Docker build image? You're right, I probably should. Good catch. So currently, this project builds and gets dumped into a Docker project, a Docker container, and it's currently using the Preview 1 version here. If I go over to hub docker com, I believe it's R, Microsoft, ASP.NET. There we go. So this is actually the full framework. It's not the ASP.NET Core one. We want ASP.NET Core, because you can build a Docker image for your ASP.NET 4.7 and later images. I felt really troubled 3 to 4 years ago that .NET has worse future than JRE, but now I'm changing my mind. .NET Core drives innovations in .NET. Well, AJ, actually, there's a lot of stuff still coming in .NET Framework for Windows. The challenge is the .NET Framework ships with Windows, so we need to sync up with Windows in order for folks to get the new version of the .NET Framework. That's why you saw a lot of things get shifted over to a package manager, and NuGet delivers those features. And that's why one of the reasons .NET Core happened is because we wanted to ship features faster than Windows would allow us to ship. Because Windows at the time was shipping every 2 to 3 years. Windows 10 now ships every 6 months, but it's still a little slow when we want to ship updates. We don't want to go through Patch Tuesday types of scenarios. We want to allow people to get those as soon as possible. But JRE has certainly slowed down their development process. These images use the Microsoft.NET image as its base. I do not see, right? This is Microsoft ASP.NET Core. I don't see the build image here that I want. Because what I want to find is 2.10 preview 2. Go to tags. Yeah, I'm looking at the list of tags here on the README, and I don't see that 2.10 here. 2.10 preview 1. I don't. And I love how this is not really ordered very well. There was some chatter about flipping over to using the Microsoft .NET Core build. 2.1, 105 Jesse. Where did it go? Let's... let's go over to tags on this one. I don't see it here. Yeah. Shift to OS independency is a great move. I wish Microsoft had done that before. But I guess they were worried if Azure succeeds. No, actually. Azure very much supports a lot of Linux installs. No, the challenge is that the .NET framework is very tightly coupled to Windows. There are a lot of low-level Windows calls embedded in the source code to the .NET framework. So to do that uncoupling for things around system.drawing or system.color that are tightly coupled to the user interface of Windows is not easy to do. And you'll tune into Build. There's going to be some interesting things there for you, I think, that you're going to want to hear, AJ. Check the 2.1 Preview 2 release blog. You know what? I seem to remember that we changed the package name altogether, the image name that we were looking at. It's at blogs, MSDN, Microsoft Com. I'm still unsure with this new keyboard as to where the keys are because I'm used to the smaller keyboards. Develop ASP.NET Core applications in a container. Yeah, they changed it, but there's libman. Let's see. If you create a new project with Preview 2, it uses Microsoft ASP.NET Core 2.1 as base. I don't see container here. The container folks like to post to the .NET blog. Maybe not. What are we saying here? In GitHub, if you create a new project from Preview with Preview 2, it uses Microsoft ASP.NET Core 2.1. It's not only GUI stuff, but also crypto API. Yes. And that needs to be rerouted appropriately. Let's see here. Let's go GitHub, ASP.NET, announcements, issues. Migrating from ASP.NET Core Docker repos to .NET. Starting with 2.1 Preview 2, we intend to migrate from using Microsoft ASP.NET Core Build and Microsoft ASP.NET Core Docker repos to the Microsoft .NET Docker repo. We will continue to ship patches and security fixes for existing, but any new images for 2.1 and higher will be pushed to Microsoft.NET. Docker files using Microsoft ASP.NET Core version should change to Microsoft.NET version ASP.NET Core runtime. So we want to do that. All right, so let's just copy that one. Yeah. Yep. So I should be able to just copy that in. Right? No. The runtime is this one. And let's take that and replace this one. That should do. If we tell it to build the whole shebang, it should pull in a new copy of that. All right. You know what? I'm going to be a little paranoid, and I'm going to run a Docker pull on that. Images up to date. Look at that. All right. Let's make sure I have the latest on this also. There we go. Fancy. Downloading all the bitses. All the bitses for Fritzes. Alright. I should whitelist docker.com. Fair enough. Let's do that real quick. While that's downloading. What didn't it like there? Interesting. I see your post, Smab. I don't know why it blocked that link. I'm gonna whitelist that one also, the blogs. Alright, let's see here. While that's finishing downloading. Where is it? Spam protection? Links. I will allow docker.com, hub.docker.com, blogs, MSDN, Microsoft.com. Alright, those are all whitelisted now. Really? This last one's taking this long to download? I mean, come on. Alright. Looks good. So we build inside of a container. Yes. So, AJ, that means that we'll always have the proper SDK in the container that matches this version of source code. So, right, we won't have to worry about making sure we have the right SDK on disk to go with this. So, but that looks like it should be working, and I should now be able to debug down into the container. Cool. So let's commit that change. Not Docker. Ugh. Right. Updated Docker container to use 2.1. Cool. So let me tell you, when you go to install preview of .NET Core 2.1 and you install the runtime instead and nothing from the new features compiles. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Duh. Right? Reminds me one of the 12-factor service principles. Right. You should always be able to build. One-click build and it just works. Alright, so that gets a bunch of that stuff back working again. So let's close those out. And then over here on issues, I thought we had I thought there was a pull request for the GitHub command. Didn't we merge that? I thought I merged the GitHub command. Just works. Yeah, that's the goal, Angus. Is it should just works. Hey, SQL Mr. Magoo, good to see you. I thought we had a pull request here for a GitHub command and then handling the markdown links. Right? This was merged. Right, GitHub command. This was merged into there. Why don't I see it? It came with the unit tests. Hello, Nilknarf. Worked earlier. Yeah, I know. No, earlier the Nightbot answered. Now, we're on the right branch. It was merged into feature Fritzbot. Right, and this is the unit test here when chat message sent. Let's take a look, see. Chatbot, when chat message sent. So there's the chat message to test for that. But somewhere, this command got dropped. See that it's not in the list. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I mean, somewhere this definitely got dropped. I'm going to grab the source here and just copy this right in. Alright, this was GitHub command. There it is now. Casing issues with branches? No. Right, that all worked. Yep, build succeeded. Good. What is the MSVC hotkey for add new item? Well, Jay, it's Alt-Shift-C. We'll bring up the add new item and start on the class. So Alt-Shift-C. Let's see if Karnak will work for us today. Maybe. I know that Brendan was tuning it a little bit here. Why am I not seeing my start bar? There it is. There's Karnak. Appearance, whatever. Auto update, so it should run properly here in the background. Do you know of any extensions that try to add back in VS-like features in VS Code? Little things like add new item, add new project. Maybe I'm just missing it. In Visual Studio Code, why would you need... Oh, you want to do, like, templates. It's all on the command line, right? I mean, when you're in Visual Studio Code and you think about add new item, add new project, you're adding new files, you're adding new folders. So they really encourage you to do that on the command line. I don't know of anybody that's trying to encourage that behavior with VS Code right now. All right, let's add. What was it? There it is. Fritz chatbot commands. GitHub command. Re-added the GitHub command. Good enough. Lots of people just are lost and ask me why doesn't Visual Studio Code help them? Maybe some kind of .NET command line helper that teaches while it works. It's about discoverability. Well, Visual Studio Code is a text editor. It's not an IDE. So when you bring up Visual Studio Code, you're right, AJ. I could have done that. I could have done a git add period and just let it ride. I don't know. Felt like navigating down to it. Yeah, this is not an IDE, right? This is folks wanted slimmed down, stripped down, just a text editor. So helping people use the command line tools, I mean, already, right? I mean, there are generate assets, restore packages. I mean, these commands are here. Look at this. Required assets are missing. No, don't do that. Yes, I know you're going to be updated. Do that later. But Control-Shift-P and, you know, all the commands are here. C#, right? List processes for attach. You know, so you can do the debugging and attaching. That's the purpose of VS Code, to type quickly and stuff like Sublime Text. You're right. You're right. In fact, there are JavaScript developers who are actually a little bit offended that there's .NET capabilities in Visual Studio Code. Okay. That's a little bit much. There's all kinds of Git features here. But project management isn't something, you know, from here, right? Right, add file to git ignore. If we just look for file, you could say new file to add a new file into your project, but there is no new project, right? Is there a folder command? New folder. You know, and you can create a new folder and start a new project there. But if you're starting a new .NET project with Visual Studio Code, I mean, the way to do it is control backtick. So you get down and you're on the command line. My new project .NET new console. And that's what Visual Studio Code users want. The agents of ASP.NET Core Shield. Yes. So that's a good call, Janesco. It's Avengers weekend. Don't tell me what happens in the movie. Don't tell me. I haven't seen it yet. I'm taking my girls to go see it tomorrow afternoon. So don't tell me. But I gotta rep my Shield, my Agents of Shield hat. I've even got my Avengers shirt on today. So there will be a VSTS command line coming soon. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not familiar with that preview, but yeah. For some people, saying, well, just go to Visual Studio is like saying, in their mind, just go back to your platform and don't try to learn this one. I'm not trying to suggest Visual Studio Code should change. Well, hang on. So Visual Studio is a full IDE. For folks that want a full IDE for that level of project management, use Visual Studio for Mac. Use Visual Studio 2017. Both are free right now, if you get the preview, especially if you get the preview versions. I'm saying perhaps I can think about the extensibility to help people learn. I didn't want to duplicate effort either. No, you might be onto something. Sure, there might be an opportunity there to build some extensions that make it easier for those folks to learn how to use those. Learn how to use the tool better. So, I'm a big fan of Visual Studio Code. There's lots that can be done with it. And it should kick off the install now. No, of course it's not. All right. So there's our GitHub command. Let's go back over here. Karnak isn't crashing just yet. I'm a little surprised. All right. So there's that. Let's take a quick look at the issues. You know what? Let's take care of this. I have one extra. There's one extra branch hanging out here, and I need to write a contributing doc. I didn't want to go back into that. All right, so let's take a look. I have one extra branch here, and it's feature unit tests. Now, I forget what I was doing in here, but it is really far behind the development branch. Let's look at the commits. What was the last few commits that we put into this one? Create an infrastructure, start showing a real naming convention, rename test project to unit tests. Okay, so this was actually pretty good change that we made here. Oh gosh. And we started naming things better. Part of me says this is too far back and I should just nuke it. Started following a real naming convention? Time to play with rebase. No. I don't think rebase is going to help too much with this. Current follower count should... Yeah, you know what? This was a little bit of renaming that we did here with, I think with Steve, to make these line up a little bit better. And then created an infrastructure folder. Yeah. I want to come back to this later. That's just it's yak shaving to make that happen. Mr. Magoo is having a problem with git attributes. Git attributes file added in the last commit is causing file modifications on checkout in Windows. Oh no! If you take a fresh clone in Windows, you start with 32 modified files on branch master, which is not great. No. I don't know the correct way to resolve this or if it's going to be a recurring problem, but thought I would mention it as I spent ages to get my fork in line with this repo. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, let's see if we can... take a look at what's going on there. So I'm actually going to go up, test, checkout. Let's go down into there, and why am I blanking? I thought it was right. I wanted to check out, not a Git repository. What? Git clone. That's what I'm thinking. Ugh. Ugh. Nope, I'm good, Mr. Magoo. I'm alright here with the changes in git ignore. Not Fritz, it's feature fritzbot. There, I see it. There, look at that. I'm 35 behind on dev. That's fine. That's fine. Check out origin dev. Git pull origin feature fritzbot. There it is. All right. So now let me go back to git checkout dev git pull origin dev. Carriage return line fiend git text settings problem maybe. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but I'm not having that problem. What am I doing here? Yeah, I want to reset to dev. Yeah, go. All right. Well, either way, I'm not getting the issue. What is it? Remove item fritz.streamtools. You're kidding. I told it to recurse. Do it. If you continue, all children will be removed. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. And it still errors out. I'm just reinstalling Windows. Oh, man. Good luck with that. Why won't it delete this folder? See, I can delete the folder. So now if I do remove item, test checkout, that works. All right, let's go back over to Stream Tools. I've got two new things here. What happened in program? RMRF, that would work in Linux, yes. Not in PowerShell. Why can't I get a diff here? What's going on? I love using Visual Studio Code to get a diff as to what's changed. There's program. Well, that's not right. Yeah, I didn't want that added. Yeah, that's why they're on the plus. You're right. You're right. I'm not sure where those came from, but they're gone now. Much better. Git bash also has it. A .NET nude in the wrong folder. Ah, okay. Crooked Finger Guy, is that my new console project test? No, I thought I did that when I demoed earlier. That had to be it. Had to be it. I thought I was down in... Whatever. It's fine. So now, I do have an extra bin folder up here. I should get rid of that. Does that work? No. Well, maybe it does. Learn something new every day. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go here with this SQL Mr. Magoo and say, not seeing this problem on my machine. Let me know if you still see it. And I'm going to close that for now. Going on. Windows 10 April update starts to roll in April 30th. Oh, good. I don't think... was there an obj folder? There is. You're right. Cool. Thank you. Let's see. Branches, issue labels. So I'm going to skip that for now. That just feels... I don't want to look at that. I made the folder but didn't change into it. Ah, rats. It's the Redstone 4. Oh, okay. Cool. Glad to hear that that's going to be rolling our way. Let's see here. Yeah, is that just a little bit behind? No, it's fine. All right. Let's see. I want to get into the pop-up notifications. More configuration for follower count and viewer count. Yes, I want to do that. I definitely want to decouple the fonts, add commands via page UI and/or chat. What I'd really like to do is I'd like to take the log that I get dumped out here I'd like to get this information logged over into a web page so that I can act on it, so I can triage it a little bit. And then maybe even from that point add commands for things that I want to be able to respond to. So that's a little bit more complex. But I think that'll get us somewhere cool. This one here, the URL checking. This jumps into doing a little bit of banning as well. Application insights. You were looking at let's see, where was it? There is app insights in here. Where'd it go? Way up top. Come on. Application Insights is in here, and it is if the debugger is attached and if it is running in development mode, and it is right now. Where we can see Jeff's videos. Handling question, unable to find that answer. Yeah, it should respond to that. Didn't find a good answer for it, though. I do check out Windows style. Binary Patrick, thank you for the follow. I think Steve is a little bit too quiet now. So I think banning is going to be pretty cool to get into this mix so that we can handle and really kick Nightbot out as far as how it does that, how it interacts with things, and how it removes some folks' information. Let's do... Let's see, where do I want to go here? Yeah, that's all right. So I am back. What did I miss? Not a serious question. Probably a lot. No, you didn't miss too much. Shuffling around some Git issues here. Need to update follower goal documentation. I'm not going to work on documentation on stream. I think that's a waste of your time. Adjust font color based on background color. I think we did this one. Might be a neat feature to auto adjust the font color. Yeah, we did this. We did that. That was pretty cool. I need a now playing widget. Yep, there's something. But I feel like we should work on some things on the bot. Now that it's actually working well. Is there an API for the Windows URL checking? What do you mean, iPartington? We can actually do an HTTP client fetch and see what's there. And then merge those changes in. I don't want to do a scoreboard right now. But I would like to start adding the ability to define additional commands. Little simple text-based answers. That might be pretty good to do. Page where you can name the command and have helpers to do common things like read write to a file, play a sound, video, GIF, randomize, send message, whisper. This is actually, I really like this to do simple things. Our friend Fierce Kittens with her GIF bot has a series of these things wired up. I think we can start to work on some of this. Oh, okay. iPartington, IE uses it protects you from dodgy sites. There must have been a list to check. You're right. There must be a PowerShell or a URL to look that up. Do I know Steven in person? Steven, which Steven? I know many people. Have a look at the GitHub. Made a suggestion regarding fonts a while back and haven't been following up. There is the decoupling fonts from Google Fonts to enter a system browser font. You know what? I think this is a good one. I think this is a good one for us to try and hammer through here in the next half hour. If we don't have Google Fonts enabled, the Stephen Hoot developers. Our friend Steve Ballmer is who you're referring to. No, I don't know Steve personally, but I think his developers chant is it's a fun meme that all of us as developers remember and we smile at because he was so excited about encouraging developers to participate. And that's a little bit of why I'm using it here, is because I do want you to smile, and I want you to join in and chat with us here in the chat room, ask questions, contribute. But Sushinator has a good point here. If you don't have Google Fonts enabled, or you don't have the key for it, let's disable that and allow you to choose from the system fonts. What up, AKR Commando? Contribute, yes. So let's get out of bot mode here. Let's close all this stuff. And the page that we're specifically looking at that you can set that font information is in our, I believe it's a view. It's under followers, goal configuration. So let me show you what this looks like. I feel way out of my league, says Master Scripter. No, not at all, Master Scripter. Oh my gosh, please don't. That is not the intention here at all, Master Scripter. Let me know what questions you have. I'm more than happy to answer your questions here on stream. I do want to take my time and walk through how these things work so that folks do understand and you can learn. There is no minimum level here for understanding. If you have any question, if you want to contribute, you want to learn how to write some of this, please ask me. I am more than happy to help you learn. That's why I'm here, to answer your questions and get folks up to speed a little bit and work together on some of these projects. Here's what I'm going to do. It also causes error messages if you just check out and run. That is how I came up with this suggestion. Okay. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Let's do this. Let me look at my app settings. And so there's a Google Fonts API and a key that goes along with this. And right now that key sits when I run here inside of Visual Studio, it runs out of my secrets file. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Pants. Do you hang out with Mr. Shirt and Mr. Shoes? Good to see you. Welcome to our chat room. AKR Commands asks, can you give a quick rundown of ASP.NET versus Node for backend development? I'm not so familiar with ASP, but I like watching. Absolutely, AKR Commando. So Node.js runs on JavaScript, right? We have JavaScript that runs typically server-side with the Express server is typically what a lot of folks use. Single-threaded, not a problem, Master Scripter. Please, I want to make sure that we break down any kind of intimidation that there might be here. That's why I'm here, right? I want to be a friendly face that you can ask questions of. Really, I want to make sure beginners can learn here. In fact, I'm organizing a beginners C# workshop in a few weeks. I'm locking down the final days now, but I want to make sure that anybody can get in, anybody can learn C# and start programming with free tools like Visual Studio Code and the .NET command line, okay? So please, Master Scripter, any question you want, put it out there. There's lots of great folks in the chat room that'll help you out. Like this question from AKR Commando. Why should I use ASP.NET versus Node? Well, like I was saying, Node is all JavaScript and it runs on server side, single-threaded, runs nicely. Lots and lots of packages. You're dependent on the JavaScript community to give you packages, to give you some basic commands and basic features. And what you'll run into is very opinionated packages. You'll run into thousands of packages that you need to install to get basic startup functionality. And those aren't all supported by one entity. J8, welcome. Thanks for the follow. What you'll see with the Node environment is it's very decentralized. There is no one governing body that's going to tell you, here's everything you need in order to run this. And of course, JavaScript is completely, it's completely dynamic, right? Lots of opinionated different ways that you can interact with JavaScript and structure your code. And folks have built things on top of JavaScript to try and make it a little bit more organized, like CoffeeScript and TypeScript. And that's pretty cool. That's a great way for folks to build applications completely free, no changes needed, and a lot of it runs in the browser. ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core, like I'm showing here, were started by Microsoft. They're intended to be a great framework that you can use that's strongly typed using. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything here. I'll get to your async await question, Beck Bristow. The community in general getting bed and welcoming developers. Yes, you're right, AJ. Lots of great tools for building software out there. Absolutely. So ASP.NET Core, built by Microsoft, completely open source. Everything about it is open source, even the Visual Studio Code editor, completely open source and available for you to download, recompile, use however you'd like. Now, ASP.NET Core runs on top of C#, F#, or Visual Basic, your choice of 3 languages. And all of those languages are strongly typed. They have different advantages and disadvantages. F# is very functional. If you prefer a functional approach to how you want to write code, Visual Basic is case insensitive. If you want to write code as a little bit of a beginner and not have to worry about case sensitivity, but you also want to gain advantage of very English-based nomenclature, right, and commands that you can use. Some of .NET Core was inspired by Node. Yes. So some of how .NET Core starts up, it was inspired by Node. We were doing some of that in older versions of ASP.NET, but you'll see similarities there, particularly if you look in our startup class. You'll see there is a configure method that looks and feels a little bit like how you configure Node. You tell it to serve static files. You tell it, in my case, I want to use the SignalR framework, and then you tell it, here's how to listen to routes and map to those appropriately. But we have an amazing amount of great tooling around ASP.NET, and we have great support on Azure for both Node and ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core. So check it out. You'll find that ASP.NET Core, .NET Core, .NET are used by a lot of enterprises out there because there's tremendous support behind it. There's one company you can go to that will give you support for up to 10 years after something's been written, where, as we've seen with the JavaScript environment, folks move very quickly and change happens, and if you don't keep up with the change, you get left behind. Master Scripter asks, I just finished getting a generic data service running from a separate class project working. I've done a lot of C# and VB, just never worked with others and mostly self-taught. Hey, that's great, Master Scripter. Okay. More power to you. That's terrific. Brendan says all the best tools, frameworks, languages pull inspiration from other sources. Yes. You see JavaScript now doing async and await. JavaScript got that from C#, to be perfectly frank. Kestrel is developed using the same lib as Node, libuv. Actually, libuv is not being used by Kestrel anymore. Kestrel is now 100% native. The data service is .NET Core 2. Cool. That's great. Master scripter and data service means no SQL behind it. Kestrel is the web host for .NET Core. Yes. The generic got lost. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see what we can do here. I want to tell my goal configuration. If you don't have, going back to the original issue that Sushinator opened, we want to be able to support selecting fonts if you don't have Google Fonts enabled. So inside of ASP.NET Core, we have this MVC structure, right? So we have views, right, which are things like this Razor template that receive a model. There's our M, the V is view, and we have a controller, and the controller kicks off and jams stuff into here so that we can jams our model in here so we can use it. No PJMP. Thanks for the follow. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room and answering your questions too. Can someone help me where to start coding for PC games? We actually have a framework that uses .NET called Unity. And I was given this book. I want to walk through this book in a future stream. This is called Pinball Lizard. It's got green in the middle. That's why you're seeing the middle kind of crop out there. If you go to aka.ms/lizardcode, you can download this book that will walk you through how to build a pinball game using .NET and Azure. Okay, where is it? So there is all kinds of stuff in here about how to build. Let me see. Yeah. There's samples and all kinds of information in here about how to build a game. So you can check that out. This book is maybe 75 pages long. And my friends on the Azure team wrote it. I'd like to go through it here on stream. But Andrew, if you're looking for a way to get started and learn how to write games, take a look. This might be something that would interest you. It says here, when we started thinking about building Pinball Lizard, we knew that modern games are made and played differently. They require advanced development tools, global and flexible multiplayer support, and new revenue models. We also knew that Azure could help because Azure was made to modernize game architectures. So you might not need to go down into all of the Azure stuff here, but it'll get you pointed in the right direction to start. Any rumors about Unity will migrate to .NET Core? Unity is maintained by a separate company, so I don't know. Maybe? I don't follow. Let's see here. But Unity is all about games in C#, yes. So the folks at the folks who made Pokemon Go, that's built on Unity. The folks who built Hearthstone, that's built on Unity. They just went .NET Standard. There you go. Yep. So, but check it out. And like I said, I'm probably going to go through and do that book here on stream at some point in the next few weeks. Maybe even June, I guess. Still based on Mono, though. Yeah, that's not a surprise. So, back to what we were trying to do. So, this view is being loaded up by a controller. The controller has the same name as our folder, followers controller, and it's up here conveniently in the controllers folder. Now, the method that is called to load the goal configuration down there is actually called goal configuration action, actually. and it gets the Google Fonts API key and passes that along. So if this doesn't exist, it probably blows up right now. Okay. So I could see this being a problem. Right, so let's do that. Just to make sure that a value goes through there. Zuluaga? Welcome, Zuluaga 15. Let's see. All libraries should target .NET Standard now. Yes. .NET Standard, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a way for us to try and bring together all these different .NETs that are running around out there. Folks who've built .NET frameworks, forked off versions of .NET frameworks that do different things between Xamarin, the .NET framework that runs on Windows, .NET Core, Mono, Unity. They do different things. So we want to pull them together so they have a unified and standard set of features that we expect them to support. So if you want to build features or a library that runs across several different .NET Framework instances, you'll be able to target that standard set of features. All right. So let's see. So my followers controller, if the Google Fonts API key, so let's make sure that a value comes through there now. Now I can go over here and look for Google Fonts API key. So we're going to load that into this constant. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that, but hey, whatever. Now where is that used? Down in Google Fonts JS. All right, so let's check that JavaScript file. It's in JS, goal configuration, Google Fonts JS. Here we go. Init Google Fonts. If supported fonts.length equals 0, Google Fonts adapter, and it goes and it loads the Google Fonts. So right there, it's going to try and load it with a bogus key if there's no value. And that's going to be a problem, right? So, yeah, we don't want to do that if we don't have. So let's also put here if does not equal double quote, so that we ensure that there's an actual value at. All right. So if we don't have a Google font key, we should properly not set up anything. So let's make sure. For testing purposes, I'm going to force this to be an empty string. All right. Let's see. I also want to make sure that we don't try to attach to the, that we don't get the bot attached when I debug this. But that's sitting inside my that's inside my user secrets. I think I thought I had a user secrets scene here that I could flip to. Let's see. Let's just do this. I'm going to flip over to my full face here while I go in and just touch the secrets here, because I don't want to accidentally share the keys for my project. Lord knows I've done that enough times. Ugh. Alright, I'll just do this. Comment that out so that I don't have a chat. That'll be fine for right now. Quick, read the reflection off my eyes. Yeah, you do that. Alright, so I'll close that. Alright. So let's start this, and we should be able to see what's going on with our... We should be able to see what's going on with our Google Fonts, right? Hopefully it won't error out, but then we also need to get our features back in there so that we can select other fonts. Alright, so it still has the old font name in there. Why am I in Edge? I don't want to be in the Edge. Don't do that. No, no, no. Firefox. Try that again. Yeah, go ahead and check out Dev Chatter. So Brendan does a nice job over there showing and discussing other .NET coding. All right. Hey, we crossed 1,600 followers. Wowie, wow. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, everybody. Let's see here. I'm thrilled. 1,600 followers. That's great. I'm still waiting for that first payout from Twitch so we can make our donation here. But I know it's coming soon. So my Google Fonts, okay. Right. So no, they're all there. Oh, that was dumb. Look at that. I hit F4 by accident and closed it. Rats. All right. So it's still loading it because I have it saved in what's huge. MS employee rejects Edge. No, no, no. Go ahead and you can go ahead and tell Paul Thurrott. But no. I like to use Firefox. Edge doesn't give me some of the tools and things that I'm looking for, and I want to be a little bit more compatible with OBS, which uses actually Chrome. So if I really wanted to, I should use Chrome. But my Google Fonts, right? This supported fonts is being loaded from somewhere. Let me go back to my goal configuration. Let's see here. I forget where we load that. It's not in my styles. He's living on the edge. No, not at all. I'm living on the edge of 17 is where I'm living. All right. There's a reason Sean Larkin came over to the Edge team to work on DevTools. It's a nice browser for end users, but needs more work to help devs be more productive. True. I completely agree, and I'm not using the latest version of the browser that comes in the fast ring of Windows Insider. I backed out of the Insider builds because they were breaking Docker too much on me. Yeah, those Google fonts, this should be initializing... Well, wait a sec. This is getting called where? Right, I think it's being called inside of goal configuration. Yeah, there it is. And it's after it loads from local storage. Yeah. Right, so this is being loaded from set supported fonts from API. Local storage set item. Yeah, it's coming out of local storage. So let me clear out my local storage. And we'll take a look at what happens then. There went the last of the coffee. Oh, we're going to have a problem. All right, so F12. And if I look at, right, memory? No, I don't want memory. Storage, that's it. Local storage. Yep. There's my supported fonts. Goodbye. All right. Supported fonts is the empty array name, and I have no fonts listed. Good. Go back over to my console, and it's now properly not showing me. Right, I'm not erroring out here. Let's dock to the side so you can see it a little bit better. That's better. So I'm not erroring out. I'm not blowing up on this. But I certainly can't select something like Arial and have it work. Right, that's... doesn't know what Arial is. So we need a good list of default fonts to put into that window, right? So what are some good default browser fonts? Nah. Hey, there we go. Common fonts to all versions. Safe web fonts. I like that one even better. The fonts that are most safe to use are Arial, Helvetica, Times New Roman Times, Courier New, Courier. You know what? I think I'm just going to use... I'll use those fonts. It shouldn't have started that up. Alright. So let's go back over here. Come on, clear out there. Where is Karnak? See if we can make that disappear a little bit faster. There we go. All right, so now let's go over to Google Fonts. So if we don't have fonts, Google Fonts adapter, where it loads up, here's the list of fonts and sets them up. Also, if Google Fonts API key. Yeah, triple equals. If it really equals empty string. And let's do, let's call it base fonts adapter. Maybe a revealing module pattern would help make the global JavaScript objects, functions, and initialization flow on the page easier to debug. Ooh. Show me a little bit about what you're talking about there, SGWatt. Give me a little bit of detail as to how we should approach that, and we'll talk about it. So the Google Fonts adapter, right, sets a, right here's the list of fonts if it doesn't have an API key, so it just throws them down, which feels bad. Then here it goes and loads them and puts them into the list of supported fonts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a simple JSON object that says family and the various names that we'll have there. So a base fonts adapter. And I'm going to return a new object. So we'll say family. What? I want that one. Right, we'll do something like this. We can copy that. I think that works. So now I've got a collection of the base. You could start with some IIFEs, right? That's the immediate... oh, geez. Why am I blanking on IIFE? Right? The immediately invoked functions. Wrap your JS in each file. Yep. I actually do that inside of my goal configuration. I have it. And it kicks off and loads all those other ones from here. Let's see. So now I have my base fonts adapter. It's going to load all that up. And at the end of it, it calls setter on that collection of items. Which is interesting. It JSON stringifies the set of fonts. So let's do this. Set supported fonts. Right, I'm returning a JSON object, so it should just drop that in there. Update font list, filtered font list. So that should work, right? The use strict directive also gives the browser hint that you aren't using any old JavaScript features. Yes. Do I have a use strict over here somewhere? I don't. Alright. Browser link, I'm okay with those. And it is not finding that just yet. Let's see here. Set supported fonts, base font adapter. So it should have loaded those up. It should have loaded those up into my supported fonts object. So let's go over to my storage, local storage. No, it didn't load them up. What did I miss? What did I miss? Setting base fonts. Nope, nothing there. Setting supported fonts from local storage. There wasn't any. Setting base fonts. There it is. So it started down into set supported fonts. So it should have... Why am I getting a red line here? That should be okay, right? Oh, you know what? Each one of these is a separate object. It's an array. Oh, that's my problem. That's my problem. That's why this didn't work. Oops, skip that one. Oop. There should be one there, and one here, and one over there. Alright, so now I have an array of those objects. Do I really need the outside one? I don't think so. Let's see, let's refresh now and see how that works. That kind of worked. That's working, but it's not showing the sample in the box, right? If I actually... Yeah, it's just not loading them up. Alright, let's keep looking here. Unreachable code on line 20. Right? That is reachable. Bah. Alright, let's keep looking. Immediately invoked function expression, that's what it is. Alright. Why am I not getting... So I'm forcing a different set of fonts into my list of supported fonts. So that should work. If I go over here to... That manages my preview. That works fine. Create font option. Let's see. You know what? I should be using that. Fonts is undefined. Do tell. Now that's just a pain in the neck. Where's the error? Fonts.map. I'm passing in a collection of fonts. Right? I say set supported maps base fonts adapter. So this is going to return this array. That return has an implied semi for the IntelliSense. Yeah, it's... Oh, because it's on a new line. Oh. Yuck. Good call. Thank you. Well, that's a little bit further along. Let's see. Console. Ah, look, there they are now. Perfect. Right, if I go down to... Why isn't it Times New Roman? Then I get the Times New Roman. Works for me. Ship it. Fantastic. Good catch there, Smab. All right. And this was issue 78. And we're going to say removed dependency on Google Fonts, and now supports a small collection of default fonts. Cool. Am I still blocked? I don't think so. Unrelated to your current debugging, but is there a specific reason you are using XHR instead of fetch? Seems like you are using ES 2015 features. That was the code that we were suggested. See, now we're chasing standards, right? We can certainly use fetch, but that's going to be chasing standards. All right, that was pushed. Let's close this. There it is. So big noodle titling, which is one that I have on my machine that I would love to be able to use. Let's do this. Thanks for the suggestion. Implemented in the current feature branch. I should have put it in a different branch, but I'm okay with where it is. Cool. All right. Now, the comment was I'm using XML HTTP request instead of fetch. All right. Where do we go here? Living standard. Chrome 42, Edge 14. Well, I don't have Edge 14. Let's start there. No support on IE. Firefox, it's on Firefox 52. I'm on Firefox 59, so we're okay with that. Yes, yes, yes. As a reply to my Edge comment, as I said, I am not a... Maybe that triggered some sort of temporary timeout. No. No, I don't think we had a timeout on you. Did we have a timeout on Sushinator? Shouldn't have had a timeout on you. No, I don't want the list. No, it was the auto mod was holding it. No worries about that. Don't worry about it, Sushinator. It saw it as aggressive. So you can use fetch instead of jQuery Ajax. Won't reject on HTTP error status. Fetch, then... Right, so we would have to do a rewrite of some of this code. Instead of doing XHR, open, and send, we could do a fetch of that location and then handle the response directly instead of having to deal with on ready state change. I wasn't trying to say XHR was so last year or pushing for new APIs, just wondering since I saw you were using const, which is a newer JavaScript language feature. It's strictly the code that we grabbed from Google to add this adapter was all referencing using XHR at the time. I completely understand, Sushinator. No worry there at all. Like I said, it's an automated moderator. Yeah, if somebody would like to convert this to use fetch, that's fine with me. Otherwise, it does its job, and I'm fine with it for right now. So here's what I will do. Convert usage of XHR to fetch. In the configuration pages for followers and follower goal. We use the XHR object. Be nice to use the newer there we go. Instead. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that as a good first issue and help wanted. If anybody wants to take a look at that and submit it, it'll be available. Have to run anyway. Afternoon in the park. Oh, have a good one, Sushinator. Good to see you, as always. So, yeah, this works, but if somebody wants to take a look at that, please feel free to submit a suggestion. So we've fixed the API there, so it will now work even if you don't have Google Fonts. I do, and I have an API key for it. You two shush. What? Huh? What? I'd like this popped out. Won't pop it out. Oh, there it is. Pop out. Oh, that's better. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Anything else that I could sneak in here for right now? Ah. All right. Refactor the goal configuration. I think we've already done this. Yeah, we've done this. We're good with that. So we can get rid of that. But where was it? There was a bot suggestion. Allow arrow keys. Yeah, that's... I think we've... No, I'm not gonna... But this one from Banana Tales, I really like this and want to start working on this one. But it is 12:30. So I think we might be a little bit long in the tooth here, a little bit late to get started on a new feature. Here's what I'm going to do. We've been working in the feature Fritzbot branch for a long time. I think we're ready to merge it up. So let me go back to my dev branch. Let's merge the Fritzbot because I think it's working and it's been quite stable all day today. So I am going to compare this one because there's a ton of work we've done. I'm not even going to put any comments with it. It is what it is. And we've got lots of great features here. Contributions from all kinds of folks. And let's do that. Rebase and... Nah, won't do it. Alright, fine. Squash and merge. There we go. Let's do that one. Sure. Do it. Fantastic. Delete the old branch. So now it's been merged into dev. Studio was awesome. Love my job, and even though I'll be doing work in Python instead of planned C#. Oh, that's terrific, Bargaw. Glad to hear it. Alright, I'm going to pull those changes. That looks pretty good. And last is I want to merge that into my master branch. So let's push this into master. Yep. Look at all that code. Updated with amazing new Fritzbot. Alright, tons of changes, open way too long. Squash and merge. Fantastic. Alright. Yeah, anyways. Alright, so I should be able to do a git checkout of master. Terrific. Alright. Oops. Git checkout dev. That's what I wanted. Alright. And, let me look at my branches that I have here. Let's get rid of some of these old ones. Git branch dash capital D will help me delete. So I'm going to delete feature bot. Feature Fritzbot. Fritzlib. Bargaw, thank you for the cheer.
I wouldn't get anywhere without online resources, so step by step I'm giving some less than 3 back.
Thank you, Bargaw. I really appreciate that cheer, and I will match that cheer, and that'll be a donation that we send over to our friends at Girl Develop It. Thank you very much, Bargaw. Congratulations to you and your new gig. More power to you over there with your new job. That's great. I'm very happy for you. So let's get rid of... That's not how you spell branch. Who wrote that? No, that's... There we go. Alright. What do we have left? Get rid of that signal R1. Oh my gosh. I am thrilled for you, Bargaw. Seriously, it's very cool to hear when folks have learned something and they're able to take advantage and you know, get a new job, start a new career. You know, really cool stuff to hear. Thank you very much. That's music to my ears. Very cool to hear. All right. So we've cleaned up a bit. I should be down to just the feature unit test branch over here and master. And feature unit tests is way out of date. But I'm actually kind of okay with that for right now. Where I want to start getting back in here is the commands via page UI and chat. I feel like we're going to need a database, and we're going to need to be able to build this and stash that database. So I think I want to use like a SQLite database, or even write to a JSON file what these commands are. Before I go any further, I want to tag the work that I've done. Feels like you need the commands command. Kind of, yeah. That's kind of where I want to go. So I'm going to build, and you know what? I think we should call this, I think I want to call this, I think I want to call this 1.0. I think I want to do that. Let's do it. And here's my one... Oh, no, wait. Stop. I just realized something. Yes, terminate the batch stop. Oh my gosh. Ignore. Sure, reload everything. I just realized something. We wrote some sample code into our followers controller. Stop. Stop. Was it like this? Right, git commit. Where is that amend? I always spell amend wrong. Yeah, now it's so stupid. Yeah, now I've got conflicts everywhere. You know, that's just a pain in the neck. Why do... If I look back over here, where are my conflicts? Look at this. I'm going to have it everywhere. Everywhere. Goodbye. No. Stop it. Nope, those aren't conflicts. There it is. And I want the current change. At which point I might as well have done it this way anyway. That's stupid. Ugh. That's not a bad idea, dev lead. That is not a bad idea at all. Dev lead is saying rebase and make it look like it didn't actually happen. No, wait, hang on. Yeah, it's not actually going to do anything. Oh dear Lord. Let's see here. No, wait a sec. Alright, now I'm really confused. What are the two? Okay. So now I have the conflict, which is this right here. Accept the current change. Save. Fixed. No. Removed default Google font API. Okay. Let's go back 3. Don't break everything too late. We will squash the last one in, and no. Merge conflict. Of course it won't do that. It's the exact same thing. Right, you can git add and then run git rebase continue. Yeah, merge conflicts are a pain in the neck. How long am I streaming today? I'm just about to set up for my stream and try not to cross our streams. No, I think I'm just about done here. I wanted to fix this And now I'll do my build again. Fabrizio, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. No, uptime worked. It worked. See? Works fine. And so this should push and use all the latest goodies. Yeah. Ghostbusters teach us dangers of crossing streams. Yes. Crooked Finger Guy, thanks for the follow. Pushing those. Now, so this is pushing to a private Docker repository, private container repository. And we should see this. Right, it's the first time I'm pushing up those middle images. So it's taking a little bit more time to push all that content. And there we go. Fantastic. Done. We did cross streams once. One of my followers posted on Reddit about it. What do you mean? Bell developer first developer, but man, that is the old not open source philosophy. Yes. Is there a chance that you consider a session of coding microservice? There are a lot of theory on the web, but I couldn't find a reference implementation to learn from. IT Goran, yes, I think that microservices is something we'll do as a workshop. Maybe we'll make that our June workshop. Master Scripter, why and when should I use Docker? Docker's a great way for you to take your application and effectively package it up, much like a store app. And you end up with a snapshot of how the operating system works and all the supporting stuff that goes around it. And you can save that off to a repository, in my case, registry here called Fritz Registry. And whenever I need to use it, wherever I need to use it, I can just pull that image, and it has everything for the operating system configured inside of it to run my web application. This way, everything, all the virtualization of that Linux operating system that this runs on is all in one place, and I can put it wherever I want, whether it's on my machine here in front of me, or a machine out on the Azure cloud, or some other hosting service. It'll always just work the exact same way. So that's why I use Docker. Folks also use Docker to have all their SDKs for their project in there, all their software development kits, their build tools. This way, it'll build, and you'll always have the same version of those SDKs sitting in that container, and you don't need to have them running and maintained on your local machine. So that way, all your tools are in one place, and when you need them, you can pull them out, and you can tell the container, go build these files on disk. Trying to figure out how to utilize Docker in a build process where I can spin up a container on the fly, run some tests, and throw it away. So that's a little bit of what I do here, where I spin up a container, I use it to build, and then when I'm done building, I put into a runtime container. You could run a test instance here that after it's done building, instead of publishing, you could actually have a container run the .NET tests commands and write those out, or whatever your test framework might be, and write those commands out either to the console or into a file on disk locally. CoreWiki has a PR for that. Does it? Does it? So we did not look at our other project today, the CoreWiki. Oh my gosh, 6 pull requests here. We got to look at this. Comments feature? Ooh. Cake and Docker build script, AppVeyor and Travis CI. Do tell. No continuous integration. That's correct. This proposes AppVeyor, Travis CI, and Docker Hub all orchestrated through the same Cake build script. Oh my gosh. Wowie, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool stuff. We'll need to look at this and spend some time going through here. This is really cool. Thank you very much. So updated the git ignore, a Travis file, so Travis continuous integration, Docker file, so very simple Docker file for this. Cool, okay. AppVeyor, so AppVeyor knows how to build. And then the Cake build script. Awesome. And then some build scripts here in case you don't have Cake. Oh, very cool. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to wrap up here because it's getting a little bit... We've been on here for approaching 3 hours. What I'll do is we'll come back and we'll work on this on Thursday next week. Tuesday we have Bill Wagner joining us and we'll talk about async and await features in C#. But I think we'll schedule this for Thursday. We'll go through and look at all of these updates here on CoreWiki. This is great stuff. We'll review and get this stuff merged in. I'm really excited about this one from you, Dev Lead, so we can look at using Cake to help build and run tests. That's awesome stuff. Update README. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I now have a new version of our stream tools. They look like they're working, and we've got our bot running on a pretty regular basis over here. But we'll take a look at CoreWiki a little bit later. On Thursday, I think, is when we're going to get back to that. So, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. Of course, as always, I will archive off this video. You'll find it over on YouTube a little bit later today. I'm going to take care of a couple things around the house here, and tomorrow I'm going to go see the Avengers movie. So, I will see you on Tuesday, and we'll talk about async and await there. Icklebit, thanks for the follow, but I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.